Welcome back to N's Notebook LM. Today we're diving into something pretty raw. It's the unfiltered philosophy of a man who basically transformed himself from a total victim of life into an absolute master of his own mind. All right, so let's get right into it. The core idea we're digging into today, it's not just about, simple self-improvement tips. No, this is about a complete rewiring of who you are. It all starts with one single principle. The work you do on yourself, it's never, ever finished. I think a lot of us feel this deep dissatisfaction, right? This feeling that the life you're living, it just isn't the full picture of who you could be. You feel trapped, maybe you blame your past for where you are now, and you're constantly looking for that quick fix, that dopamine hit that just never really works. So how do you start this journey? Well, it begins by turning around and facing that past. But here's the key, not as an excuse, but as the raw material for who you're going to become. It all kicks off with identifying, and I mean really owning, the one thing, the one injury that's holding you captive. And Goggins has this really powerful way of explaining how we get stuck from his time as an EMT. He calls it the distracting injury. Just imagine this. You're on a scene, and there's a patient with a bone sticking out of their leg. It's gruesome. It's screaming for your attention. So you focus on that, but you totally miss the fact that their airway is blocked and they can't breathe. See? The really obvious, loud pain distracts you from the actual, life-threatening problem you can fix. And we all have them. These are those painful stories we tell ourselves over and over to justify why we can't move forward. Maybe it's past trauma, a huge failure, a betrayal. Whatever it is, that one thing can become your entire identity. It becomes the reason you stay exactly where you are. Look, the pain from your past is absolutely real. Nobody's denying that. But letting it define you, that's a choice. And the very first step to changing things is taking your soul back. It's this radical idea of saying, okay, what happened to me might not be my fault, but everything I do from this moment on, that is 100% my responsibility. So once you take that ownership, you need a place to do the work, right? A place to forge a brand new identity. And this isn't some gym or office. Nope. It's a workshop you build right inside your own mind. He calls it the mental lab. Think of the mental lab as your own personal garage. It's where you take all your insecurities, all your fears, and you just dissect them to build strength. It's where you literally create an alter ego, the person you need to be to crush your goals. So for David Goggins, the broken kid became Goggins, this savage who just refused to quit. Now, this kind of transformation isn't powered by something soft and fuzzy like hope. It's powered by something way grittier, belief. But what even is true belief, and where does it come from? Because, hope can come and go, but real, solid belief, that's something that's forged in the fire of resilience. There's this crazy experiment by a scientist, Dr. Kurt Richter. Okay, so he puts these rats in a bucket of water, and they just give up. They drown in a few minutes. But then he tries something different with a second group. Right before they're about to give up, he pulls them out. He saves them, lets them rest, and then he puts them back in. He didn't just give them some flimsy hope, you see. He gave them proof. He showed them that survival was actually possible. So what happened? What was the result of this tiny shift from hope to actual belief? Get this. Those same rats, now armed with the memory of being saved just once, swam for an average of 60 hours. 60. That right there is the insane power of earned belief. Okay, so that's the kind of belief we're talking about being forged in the mental lab. But even with that rock-solid belief, you're still going to face those moments. You know the ones. The moments where every single part of your mind is just screaming at you to quit. To win that battle, you need a very specific tool for that very specific moment of weakness. Because here's the thing, your life, your dreams, they aren't won over hours or days. They're won or lost in thousands of tiny individual seconds. Those seconds where you face the choice, push forward or give up. Think about Navy SEAL Hell Week. It's not the whole 130 hours that breaks a person. It's losing the battle in just one of those 468,000 seconds. That's all it takes. So Goggins came up with a technique to win that one crucial second. It's a really simple, repeatable process you can use to get control back right when you're about to break. The moment panic kicks in, you mentally just stop. Take a knee. You control your breathing, and then you visualize two futures side by side, the one where you quit and the one where you keep going. And then you make your decision. You choose. Mastering that 1-second decision is absolutely key, but the journey doesn't just end with one win. The ultimate goal here is a state of constant, never-ending growth. And to do that, you have to fight what becomes your biggest enemy, satisfaction. Yeah, that's right. Once you achieve something big, the real danger isn't failing the next time. It's becoming satisfied. It's getting comfortable. And to fight that, Goggins says you have to practice something he calls trained humility. And what is that? It's the deliberate choice to make yourself uncomfortable again, to basically free fall back to the bottom, start over, and remember exactly what it feels like to have nothing. It's the mindset of this guy, Master Sergeant William Crawford. I mean, here's a man who earned the Medal of Honor, the highest award for valor, and he spent his later years working as a janitor. Why? Because he showed that true greatness isn't about the awards on your chest, it's about service and humility. He understood that real growth only happens when you're willing to mop the floors. And this all leads to the ultimate philosophy here. Embracing the suck isn't a one-time thing. It's a lifestyle. You don't just earn respect once and then get to coast for the rest of your life. No way. You earn it fresh every single day. The work is never, ever done. So this is a call to action. But it's not for a day or a week. It's for a lifetime. You've basically just seen the entire blueprint laid out. So the only real question left is for you. If this topic has captured your interest and you'd like to dive deeper, the book is called Never Finished by David Goggins.